You ever have a spirit day at your school? You know what I'm talking about, like Monday is be a character from your favorite book day, Tuesday is pajama day, Wednesday is always Hawaiian day. I don't know why it's always Hawaiian day, but you know what I'm talking about. So I don't know about you, but there is always a department that just goes way above and beyond. You know what I'm talking about. They like go out and they have like custom costumes made, and this one woman's like Betsy Ross and another guy's like Benjamin Franklin, or like around Halloween they all dress up as the Ninja Turtles. You guys are so cute. And then there's your department and you're like, yeah, none of us even did any of the spirit days. So maybe it's that, maybe it isn't that, or maybe it's something that's even worse. And it kind of weighs on you because maybe you don't wish that everybody dressed up in all of these cutesy kind of costumes on Spirit Week, but you do kind of wish that your department was maybe a little bit more fun, or that you got along a little bit better, or that you could just kind of act like yourself around them, or that your meetings weren't Debbie Downers. Because you know that if these things were happening, you'd like to be around your department a little bit more, but you also know that it would make your teaching life a little bit better. So we're going to talk about all of those things and more today on Beyond Academics. Okay, so I want you to think back to a time where you were on a semi-successful or a fun to be on kind of team. Now this could be any time from the time when you were little and it was maybe like your t-ball team or a soccer team, or maybe it was like an academic bowl team or a football or basketball team, and you were really ripping, you were really running. It was a lot of fun to be on. You guys were really successful. So there was something special about that, wasn't it? Like you couldn't really put your finger on what the things were that made it such a special experience for you, but you remember it felt awesome. Even when at the times like when you weren't winning necessarily. So one of the things that I really want to zoom in on is this, and it's something called organizational trust. Now when you were like 8 or 10 years old on the Pittman Tigers soccer team, you weren't like, you know what guys, we need to have more organizational trust. No 8-year-olds are talking about that. But whether you were on an awesome team, you're on an awesome team now at the school or organization that you're at now, or you were 8 years old and you guys were having a ton of fun and things were awesome. It revolved around this idea of organizational trust. Now, I'm not the person that came up with this or invented this, but I know a whole lot about it. I've studied it a lot because here's what I know is that when teams are having fun, when teams are getting along, when teams are really like-minded and walking in lockstep, they're winning, they're having fun, and in school, children are better off for it. So let me break down this idea of organizational trust. Here's what it is. It's being able to 150% be yourself and be comfortable around the people that are in the organization with you. It's not necessarily like believing everything that they say, although that is a byproduct of having organizational trust, but it's not that kind of trust where you're either trying to judge if somebody's lying or not. It's not that at all. Again, it's just being 150% comfortable around each other and not worrying about somebody gunning for you, or somebody talking behind your back, or somebody thinking that you're ill-intended, or I don't know, maybe like somebody making fun of you on that team. Think about that, like your 8-year-old soccer team or your quiz bowl team or whatever team it was that I told you to think about at the beginning. You could just really trust that team you could just really be yourself around them. You were comfortable being who you were. You felt like other people accepted who you were. They knew what you were great at, right? But even more scary, they knew what you were bad at and they didn't hold it against you. They didn't like rub it in your face. They would kind of have your back in those low spots where you had weaknesses, and somebody else that had those strengths could come and have your back. And it was just a really awesome time. So maybe I'm talking about these things and you're like, yeah, that is not my team. Well, let me give you a couple tips and tricks about how to build this organizational trust so that way you can really be yourself, be comfortable around each other, have some fun working together, not worry about what people might be saying or thinking about you behind your back. The first thing is that you really have to take time to get to know one another. In a school, this is dang near impossible because everything is go, go, go. Even when you have department meetings, it's like everyone's trying to hurry up, get in, get the information, get out, get back to their desk, do their lesson planning, hit the bathroom before the kids come in, or maybe your department meetings are after school and you're just beat and you just want to go home. Well, here's one of the, it's easy to do but hard to do at the same time, and I think you'll get the idea when I say this, is that you actually have to take the time to get to know one another. That's right, you need to actually build in some kind of time, somehow, some way, to ask some questions about the other people on your team. You, as the person that's leading this initiative, that's getting brave enough to make this organizational trust happen, you have to open up with things about you. You have to lead by example and just be vulnerable with your strengths, your weaknesses. You can do this in the form of games and icebreakers and stuff like that. Get a chat pack of questions that you open up meetings with. Find an icebreaker question that kind of explores a little bit deeper as you guys get to know each other a little bit more. Do this with your department. It may feel cheesy, it may feel hokey, but I promise you that if you're feeling some kind of tension, like you have people in your department that really aren't digging where they are, or they're really not digging the vibe or the cohesiveness of your department, is that they're gonna kind of appreciate this after they see that this is a cultural piece that you find important as the leader. And so I say leader, this doesn't even you don't have to be like the department head. Like you could totally bring this up if you're just one of the teachers in the group, or you're not the person that's leading the meeting. Go into it with a lighthearted kind of spirit, and I think you'll be really surprised that over time, if you do this with consistency, you'll see how you really start to kind of come together as a team. So again, like I said, it's kind of simple, kind of not simple, because everyone wants to get in, get out, but this just might be the key to you having a really great time with the people that you're going to be spending a whole lot of time with. Well, I hope that helps. Make sure you leave some comments below. What are some tips and tricks that help you on some of the teams that you've had a really great time with? I would love to hear about it. Also, make sure you give me any kind of recommendations about videos that you'd love for me to create. I would love to create something that is just something that you want. So I really appreciate everybody tuning in. This is really exciting. I'm honored to be listened to by you. My name's Jeff Becker, and this is Beyond Academics.